Uh, Hello, YouTube friends, and most of the time I would say good day, but it's not a good day to me today. May 7, Friday 2021, that I am filming this, and one of the main reasons is that uh, I'm losing words, but actually, the situation here is not good, it's not fine to me personally. So I'd like to share something to you before I'll have some ending words after this filming. I arrived here in Thailand last April 12, 2011 from my country, Philippines. And my first um, target here is to be a missionary because my degree that I graduated is Bachelor of Arts in Theology. So I have some communication with the leaders here in our denomination, Seventh Day Adventist Christian, and they have informed me that they're waiting for my persons to come over to Thailand, and I'll take place. That's somebody who was assigned here in Canterbury. Anyway, the salary is just around. It's not salary; it's stipend 5,000 baht, but it's okay for me because that was my first target to come over here as a missionary. And then when I arrived here, several occasions that I met with officers of Thailand Adventist Mission, they would just tell me, "I'll see you around. I'll see you around." And a pastor of the church in which I reside temporarily here in Canterbury have told me that I have to find another means. I have to apply as a school teacher because it looks like I don't have any hope to be accepted as a missionary here in our denomination. So we tried to apply finding schools in Thailand, two provinces, Rayong and Canterbury. I travel all across the whole of this province here. Just imagine that one more than 2 inches thick of resumes that I have submitted. And for the Christians, they would say, "Thank God, nobody responded." Took me around 5 months to struggle, could not find any school. One day I find an opportunity to play with Thai people in a basketball game somewhere in South, in Bangka Nakon Sri Thammarat. The city is Tongsong. And then only to find it out that he was the director of an agency that they are hiring teachers. So I was called to work in Chonburi, and I tried my best because my visa is running out. My mama have borrowed substantial figures already in Philippines just for me to survive here for 5 months of having no work. It's not easy. And the people here in Canterbury that I met 10 years ago, they're not friendly. We have the same blood and citizenship as Filipino, but only the Thai local here are quite friendly and helping my situation. But Filipino, I never get any kind of help. With that, before I left in Philippines, I have this bag of depression from my colleagues in the university, in the college that I graduated. I have helped them with their thesis and their term papers, and yeah, before we graduate, during the time that I was depressed, so some of them just laughed and could not believe because they treated me as a strong man. So they could not believe that suddenly filmer becomes weak, kind of a person. So they don't believe that. And I have this bag of depression, and then to add to insult to injury, I got no job for 5 months here in Thailand, surviving alone with the help of the strangers, of the Thai people that I do not know. And then I started having a job, and I made a couple of friends in a particular church in Sriracha, and then went back to South, another 1 month of working, and then come back here because I was called to work in the university. I worked in the university for 5 years, and then I was so active as a president, an officer of a religious organization that is related to my affiliation as Seventh Day Adventist. I was the president of that organization, ADPAC, Adventist Teachers in Thailand. I forgot the whole acronym, the whole definition of that ADPAC. I was the president. I have some disappointing experience there because I was so active and I was not able to balance my work between my teaching classes in the university and my time for my volunteerism in working in helping the less fortunate students somewhere in northeast of Thailand, in Chiang Mai, in particular name of the province. And then, and that situation gave so much reason for the university for me to be kicked out from the job as a lecturer, as an instructor in the university. And plus that I didn't have master's degree, so they have more reasons now that I need to be kicked out from the job. So last December 2016, I was demoted. I was kicked out from the job, from the university, as a lecturer, as an instructor, business English and other English courses that I was teaching there for 5 solid years. I was admitted in university as an employee last December 2011, and I was kicked out from the job by December 2016. And before that, we've got a fatal accident, but we're just thankful that we survived. Nobody hurts, but the car was somewhat total, like totally wrecked. But it's amazing that we're still alive. And yeah, I have these several bags of frustrations and depressions. And then later on, I was kicked out from the job, and I have called the important individuals who are responsible to that organization that I was so active as a president, and they haven't a word, like a comforting word from me, and I just kicked out from the job. So the more that I was depressed. And just imagine that one, YouTube friends, 4 years and 4 months officially now. Actually last month, April. So now it's month of May. So officially 4 years and 4 months that I haven't found a job because I tried to apply back into universities here in this province, and they have the same reason why they could not accept or hire me as an instructor, because I don't have master's degree, even TOEFL. So, and my bachelor's degree is not even related to education. It's a Bachelor of Arts in Theology. As I mentioned to you earlier that I applied here in Thailand, I came here in the first place to be a missionary, not a school teacher. But the Thailand Adventist Mission, the officers just nodding their head every time we met, blah, blah, blah. But they don't have any actions. And later on, you know what? We have to sidetrack a little bit. And later on, when I was discussing things in the church, there was a lesson study during Sabbath school hours with our Seventh Day Adventist group. And I was the one participating, discussing the lesson topic. And the president, somewhat probably amazed and surprised to what I have discussed there. And he said, "Can I have your resume, your CV later on?" And I almost responded to him, but I just kept quiet and I said, "Wow, we have met 5 years back, but you just keep nodding your head every time I talk to you." And now it's been 5 years and you could not remember my face anymore and you're asking my CV? That's the thing that was in my mind. But that was the same guy, the same president of Thailand Adventist Mission. I have to mention that name, Chan Chai. That I approached several times and just, I'll see you around, I'll see you around, I'll see you around. Chantaburi is 250 kilometers fucking distance from Bangkok. And I'm here in Chantaburi and the headquarters there is in Thailand Adventist Mission is in Bangkok. It's 250 fucking kilometers away. And you know what? I was agitated, but anyway, Seventh-day Adventist kind of thing. So with that, I just hold on, and I lost my job, and 4 years from December 2016 down this month, I lost the job in the university. The university did not give me the 8,000 allowance because I'm an Asian. If I'm a native speaker, if I'm a white person from Europe, even they don't really speak English well, then they are considered as a native. This is how racist the Thai people here. If you're white, even if you don't really speak English well, then you're considered as a native speaker and your salary will be the same with the native speakers. But for Asian guys, even they can speak English well, but your salary is still the same with the locals. And I did not receive the 8,000 baht for 5 years. And when they kicked me out, they forced me to sign the contract that I received the 8,000 baht salary, housing allowance for 5 years. Just imagine that. And I tried to complain to the Ministry of Labor here in Chantaburi, but they said, "Oh, we cannot help you out because government universities have different policies that Ministry of Labor cannot run after them because we can only run after the private schools." And I said, "Wow." But of course, I do not know the things behind, so I should not, for my safety, I should not dig deeper with that. Even some of the persons in the Ministry of Labor have treated me as their real brother. But that individual was transferred to Bangkok right now, so I don't have any help to ask in terms of this kind of situation that will arise again. So that's it, YouTube friends. I know some of my subscribers are Seventh-day Adventists and you're living close by. I'm very sorry to that, but that is the situation that I am struggling right now. You know what? I'll be putting this one as a title of the vlog, not for the views, but this is really I want to know because some of my childhood friends from where I came from in Likop, Mati, Davao Oriental, they don't know for 20, 30 years now where I am right now. So to give them some fair understanding, maybe 10 years after this vlog, they could see my channel if I am still alive. Then probably they will understand why I like silently gone, and they will see what's the reason behind. Because thoughts from the kids are quite different, and now I'm on a mature, a grown-up individual, but I have this kind of suffering that I have. I started from the college, as I mentioned to you lately, but there was a thing that I was not able to mention as well. Um, in my last 3 semesters in the college, my father died of cancer, and then I was not able to get over to that. And the last semester when I was in college, my sponsor from the outside left me behind, and my academic scholarship cannot cope up the rest of my expenses that I have to pay for my last semester in the college. And that was the time that I started not to believe in God anymore. And then after I graduated, because one of my loving professor that I treated him as a father figure, because I just lost my father a year before, have helped me to graduate, though I got recognitions and honors in my graduation day, but I was not happy because I just forced to march because my mother cried and said, "Before your father died, he told me that you will graduate and he is expecting you to march, even he's not around." So I respect that. And 2 months that I tried to heal myself while I was working in the field, a friend of mine, Raul Imnasi, have called me. Now he's an ordained minister in Davao Mission, in North Davao Mission, a new established mission, local conference somewhere in Tagum, De Oro, uh, part of Davao. Davao has four parts: Davao del Sur, Davao City. Davao City, I think it's included. Del Sur, De Oro, and Davao Oriental. So somewhere in De Oro right now. He said, "Can you help a guy, our colleague, Jerry? Now he's working as a chaplain in the Adventist hospital." I said, "Oh, you know that I am still healing myself. It's still fresh that I stopped believing in God 2 months ago." But they could not accept the fact that I became weak suddenly, because as they look at me, because we've been together for 4 years, that I am a strong man. Different kinds of struggles, heavy sufferings that I have suffered in life, and they found me as a strong man standing. So they could not believe me that at one point I was at my lowest point in life. And then they asked me to rescue somebody because that guy will be traveling to Thailand with his girlfriend. And they're afraid if a theology graduate will be here in Thailand, maybe they will be losing the direction. But the time that I decided to come over here in Thailand, they were all clapping their hands. What's the difference? Am I a threat to be their co-employee if I will work in somewhere in Davao Mission? That's the thing that I'm questioning in my mind right now. But anyway, let's forget about that. But the time that I was trying to heal myself for 2 months in Kidapawan City, I'm aiming to take my master's degree in systematic theology and world mission until my PhD degree. And I was 22 years old back then when I was dreaming that. I said to myself, I need to heal myself for 1 year here, and then by the age of 23, I will be flying to Ayas somewhere in Manila in Silang Cavite to take my master's degree in systematic theology and PhD degree in systematic theology, following the footsteps of the professor that I treated as my father figure in the college back then. And then that plan was erased, was eliminated the time that I have responded to the call of Raul Imnasi to help out Joyri Ugbamin because he's losing the direction kind of thing. So we've been working together in the field, and there are a lot of things in Davao City that I started losing my track. And then my plan of going to IS was eliminated in my mind because I was introduced to multi-level marketing, this fucking stuff. To be a networker. Without these two guys who have called me to transfer a place, then probably I was able to heal myself for a year in that secluded area in Lapan Pires. It's a barangay. It's a village near the mountain. I'm helping the tribe there. I was able to learn their language even, and then Bible studies and praying, and I even trying to heal myself because the situation, the depressing, the frustrating thing that happened in the college, in the campus, was still fresh 2 months ago. I graduated March, and that time that was May the same year. So 2 months time that I was trying to heal myself, and then this guy have called me that there's somebody needs my help, and I said, "Oh, you don't understand that I need help as well, psychologically, mentally." And all this kind of depressions, I put all the different sizes of bags of depressions, and I brought them all here in Thailand. And plus, to the unwelcoming attitude and behavior of the Filipino here in Canterbury, Seventh-day Adventists, I mean, not the other Filipinos around because I did not know. But those Filipino who are of my same group as Seventh-day Adventists. I don't want to name names. But my subscribers in this YouTube channel who are in Canterbury are not included. They're the newcomers here. I was ahead of them. But those old ones and my Filipino subscribers who are living close by, they knew exactly who are these people. So that being said, I was I was devastated. So that's why I decided to come over here to Thailand because I was depressed in my country. Though a lot of senior ministers, high-ranking officers have told me, Filmer, why don't you stay here? You have to work here in our denomination. Probably they have seen something in me, kind of potential that I can be productively helping the denomination in some ways. But because I was depressed and I don't like political way of achieving things because you have connections and that is why it's easy for you to get on top, and I don't like that. It should be based on your labor, your honesty, your dignity, your potential, and everything. I don't want some easy way of getting into the top, but I don't like as well, no matter how you work hard and all these things and you are recognized. So we need to be fair. I want justice and fairness to everything. That's the kind of me, YouTube friends. And if there is something that is imbalanced that I could see anywhere, and I hate that. And I cannot relate to somebody with that. Others would just ignore and agree and take for granted all these things, but to me, I don't. So with that, you know what? This is not related about gardening because my YouTube channel is Organic Gardening with Fulmar. But I have to share this to you, YouTube friends, because I might be uploading videos that I have filmed in the previous year, like back in 2020. And if you cannot see me around in the next 2 years, 3 years, that being said, that I am gone. You know what? My wife is a loving partner, is a loving, significant other of mine. She was crying the whole night yesterday and today, and several times already. The time that I lost my job in the university back in December 2016. Now 4 years and 4 months officially. I keep mentioning that one for several times already, right? And I was so depressed because the people that I have tried to help, and this is the kind of attitude that I have. I tried to help others and I let them go and I help them first before helping myself. The way I look at things, myself will be the second as always. I treated others to go first and be helped in the first place and me the second or the last. So that's a kind of me. But then the things that, like, in return, it is really depressing to me personally. So I don't understand how life really works. And you know what? In 4 years and 4 months, I've been applying, looking for a job. You know what? Going down from university level, I applied in high school, in elementary school, and the time that I'll be submitting, giving my CV, my resume, they have a puzzled look, like questioning silently. How come that you have a stable job in the university and now you're coming to our small school and apply here as a teacher? What's going on? What kind of crime you have done in the university? That kind of look as you try to read their eyes. And yeah, it is very intimidating and frustrating. And you know what? The kind of frustration that I have that is added to me now, I have frustrations and depressions in life. Different levels, different situations, different outcome, different reasons. And you know what? I was hired as a teacher. Now, I just signed a contract with my wife. My wife accompanied me yesterday. For 4 years and for 4 months that I've been looking for a job, at last I found a job. But it's only 11 months salary. It's not 12 months salary. And to add to injury, my salary is almost just half of the salary of my wife. My wife is close to I think around $900, 900 US dollars. That's the approximated amount of my wife's salary, around $900 a month. And my salary is around half of that. It's around 450 or $500 a month. And the job, yeah, even heavier than my wife's job. And back in like in more than a year, we have helped somebody, a fresh graduate, a millennial graduate from the same college where I graduated from. We have helped her, and then now she's in the same school with my wife, the same salary with my wife, and even turning against us after helping these guys all the way to the top of kind of assistance that we have given them. I do not know how the world works. I was here back in 10 years, so difficult. Nobody turning an eye to help me out. And now that I have that kind of experience, so when newcomers come over, we try to help everything we can. And they're turning against us after. And this thing really put me into the lowest point of my life. And more depressions that I already bagged from with myself from Philippines that I brought in here. And that is why several times that I tried to take my life. If I'll be successful to that one day, then Satan will have an easy way to claim my soul. You know what? If you're a Christian, if you're a true Christian and watching and listening this video, probably you can kneel down and pray and ask God to help me out, because I have lost my trust, my faith, patience, and everything. I to the people around close by, I have a few subscribers living close by here. I encourage you not to come over, or I ask my wife that we should stop our contacts to everyone, because I cannot pretend myself anymore that I am okay. And perhaps I am psychologically troubled, mentally, and everything that I do not know. I tried kneeling and praying, seriously asking God to help me out, reading the Word, firmly asking His help, but it doesn't give me a thing anymore. My wife seriously praying, my mother. That's why it gives me a doubt if the people close by and my church friends are really praying honestly and seriously for my mental psychological health, or they are just talking things in front of me, but actually in their personal lives they doesn't care. I tried to listen my numbers of friends now. I have a lot before, but now I try to select the best that I can. And even these people probably are just talking positive things in front of me. But behind me, they're probably not telling, we don't care about you, brother. That's a kind of feeling that I have right now. I'm so lost, confused, and I don't know what to do. And that is why the people who are subscribing to this YouTube channel that I am seeing in the church for several times, you know me. If you hear me out and if you watch this video, then please pray because I will not anymore. And the other subscribers, I have subscribers from Canada and US and Italy. These people that I do not know, and we became good friends here in the chat room, in the comment section, and I also visited your channel. Thank you for being friends. That we have a few times that we're able to get to know to each other, even virtually. I'm happy for that. And if you're a Christian or not, just think positive things and just do hope that this will come out positively. But to me right now, I'm confused, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. And that's the reason why I was not able to vlog and to upload videos about my gardening for more than a month, I guess, because I have this personal struggle. Aside from my wife that is struggling physically, a few of you have known that my wife is struggling because she has a myoma and a cyst in her ovary, and the operation was not scheduled last month, supposed to be, because the sizes of the myoma and the cyst were decreasing, were getting smaller. I do not know, but there is a like a monitoring time or an evaluation that we need to come back to the hospital a couple or 3 months after to see the progress, because they could not schedule the surgery if the size is decreasing, is getting smaller. So they have some exact size that needs to be uh, operated. So that is the situation. And yeah, I don't have problem with my few friends right now. I especially mention in Klang Church and some close friends here in Chantaburi, the newcomers, not the old bastard Filipinos here who are ahead of me. But I just don't want to make any contacts to all of you. I just want to be alone. And if I can survive this struggle, if I can survive this dilemma, if I can survive this condition that I am facing right now, then I'll come out alive. But if I cannot survive, then you will not hear me anymore from this YouTube channel or even to other channels that I have. I'm so discouraged. I've been into doing this forex trading for 6 years. There was no success until now. I lost my job for 4 years and 4 months. And after 4 years of 4 months applying, looking for work, I got a new work, but the salary is quite half of the salary of my wife. Well, the millennial graduates who have nothing in their heads got more than sometimes $1,000 in a month's salary. What's going on in the world? Despite of the goodness, the generosity, the kindness that I have shown to different many people in the previous, and this is what I got. You would say life is unfair, but God is good. I don't think so. God is good. I don't think so. Whether you're angry, whether you don't disagree with me, but as I look at it for several years now, that I am into this kind of suffering. You know what, YouTube friends? What pushed me to have a vlog, to have a YouTube channel and do gardening is just to wipe out this kind of depression and frustration that I have. But it brought me to the next level and I could not handle it anymore. Vlogging, gardening, it's not helping. My mother is getting old. I don't have father anymore. My mother is working as a domestic helper somewhere in Bangkok. My wife is suffering, struggling with me about this situation. My wife kept telling me that I am a selfish person if I commit suicide because what will happen to them? My mother, my wife, our family dog, Diga. I said, yes, but how can I handle this situation? My wife and I are thinking that I need to see a doctor, a psychiatrist. But I could not even trust a medical doctor here in Thailand, especially in the government hospital. I'm sorry to tell you that. Why? Even typing the exact number of years of my wife, her old age, could not correctly write. My wife now is 37 years old. But as we keep coming to the hospital, sometimes her age is 39, sometimes 42, sometimes 40 years old. Just imagine that. Even typing a simple kind of instructions, they could hardly do that. Much more seeing the level of my depression and frustration and try treating me that I am problematic into this situation. So how could I trust these guys? And if I ask my friends close by, they don't have anything to say. They would just listen. I need a word. They would just listen. Most of the time, I'm the one talking and sharing things, but they could not respond in a way that I am completely satisfied. I'm confused. I'm struggling. I do not know. So, if I can come out alive and survive this situation, I will be seeing you in the next time. But if I cannot survive and if I cannot handle the situation, then the next uploads will be the previous film that I have, and probably my wife will be doing that. I am gone anymore. But hoping that I could see you around. I have tried and did my best to anything that I'm capable of. But the outcome, I came out nothing, empty handed, lost, confused.